my name is Jackie. Welcome to Super Enthused and welcome to the historic Glenn Curtis Mansion. Today I'm taking a tour of the mansion given by a docent, and then I'm going to walk around the grounds a little bit to complete a scavenger hunt. The Curtis Mansion scavenger hunt. We're going to find all of these cool areas and items and check them off our list. If you watched some of my summer travel vlogs to Nova Scotia, I visited the Alexander Graham Bell Museum. There are a lot of tie-ins from that visit to this visit. Bell and Curtis knew each other. Curtis was part of, I can't remember the name of it, part of the aviation club that was working on making flight a thing. Bell's daughter was married to David Fairchild, another founder of the South Florida, Miami area. There are so many tie-ins with these historical figures and the founding of Miami and South Florida. So if you like historic homes, museums, and learning more about history, join me today as we tour the Curtis Mansion. The mansion is built in Pueblo Revival style, which was popular around the turn of the century, the early 1900s. Curtis liked the style and built the house in it. Historic tours are offered every Saturday at 10 a.m. And I'm here and it's 10 a.m. Flying high this New Year's Day, we need your help to make us gay. Our country's grand, but we're so blue. Come, let's wake up. It's 42. Here's Curtis himself, looking grand as always. The tour begins here in this room, where you're given a lot of really cool facts. On the tour, we learn about many of Curtis's firsts and historic moments. He started out building motorcycles. Some of Curtis's historic achievements include training Blanche Stewart Scott, the first female American pilot, and the tour guide let us know that was just by a few weeks. First successful takeoff from a Navy ship. First simulated bombing runs from an aircraft. So many firsts. Received the first pilot's license in the US, and that is because the first batch was given out in alphabetical order. So he lucked out with the name Curtis. So many more firsts. First autopilot demonstration. First flying boat to cross the Atlantic Ocean. The first airboat, and here we have a picture of an early predecessor of the airboat. And if you live in Florida, you know what an airboat is. In the 1920s, Curtis founded the cities of Miami Springs, Opa Locka, and Hialeah. And here we are in Miami Springs right now. The Curtis Mansion was built in 1925. This board shows some of Curtis's adventures. And you can see this photo was taken by David Fairchild. Again, going back to Curtis's connection with many of the founders of South Florida. And this was his picture on the cover of Time magazine in 1924. And it says, handy at fixing things. Definitely an understatement. Here he is looking all cool, flying. Here's a picture of the first aircraft to take off from a US Navy ship and the first Navy plane. And this is the first airplane to cross the Atlantic Ocean. The tour guide let us know that this is the original fireplace and the original brick inside. The ceiling has had to be rebuilt due to arson and neglect during the time that the mansion was not cared for. Starting in the 90s, the renovations started taking place. And these are some flowers from an event that was here last evening. I love these chandeliers. There's a Curtis Mansion scavenger hunt you can go on. Woohoo! We found the half a set of stairs. This is the stairway to nowhere. At some point there was a pool on the other side of this stairwell, but now it just kind of ends. It's still really beautiful. It's made out of coral like a lot of other pieces on the property, oolithic limestone, which comes from underneath the earth here in South Florida. And it was all dredged out of the lake behind this fence. And that's the lake back there that Curtis dug and pulled the limestone from. And in the yard we have what appears to be a secret garden. This beautiful nook-like area shaded by the trees right on the lake that was dug out by Curtis. And all of the coral, the oolithic limestone came out of the lake. How cool is that? The tour guide also told us that Desi Arnaz Jr. played one of the parties here. Can you just envision the 1920s parties and get-togethers that happened in this area? Earlier on the tour, we were in this back secret garden looking area, and I thought the thing in the back was one of the benches, but that's actually the old barbecue pit, and it's one of the scavenger hunt items. So bam, we found it. So pretty. Here's one historic site plaque, but it doesn't look like this one, so I'm not sure. It looks different than this one, but it is a historic site plaque. Old-fashioned lamp. Old-fashioned lamp. Check and check. Original coral stone fireplace made of brick and limestone from 1925. Check, check, and check. Beautiful. All original limestone and brick from 1925. Flanked by not one, but two old-fashioned lamps. Upstairs landing, pretty overlook. This is where Curtis would come to look down and see who's down there and what's going on. And that's how he would decide whether he would go down the main stairs, where he'd encounter everyone who was down there, or his secret stairwell. Got my scavenger hunt. Or his secret stairwell, which was here. In this secret stairwell, he could go downstairs over to his carriage house where he worked in privacy without anyone bothering him. Can't blame the man. We've got the scavenger hunt. I think we've checked everything off besides one item, the outdoor decorative display. So we'll go back outside as we're making our way out of the secret stairwell. Secret stairwell. Next item on the scavenger hunt, the outdoor decorative display. Outdoor decorative display. The house is built in a U shape so it stays cool all year when the doors and windows are open. And here it is, the outdoor decorative display. And this piece of stuff. Pottery, decor, whatever you want to call it. Looks like an acorn. I've seen a lot of things like that in historic homes. Scavenger hunt heroes! Another airplane going overhead. Here we go. We found the official historic site plaque. We found it!
He drove this motorcycle 136 miles per hour and became the fastest man on Earth. Big 8-cylinder engine on it, really giant engine. And he went 136 miles per hour, and he had no brakes. Not sure how he stopped, but he did stop. He did sell the first twin-cylinder motorcycle in America. And a gentleman out west named Thomas Baldwin used to build balloons, dirigibles. Thomas Baldwin asked Glenn Curtis to put one of his engines on a dirigible, and that's the first time Glenn Curtis flew. It's around 1907, 1908. This is the June bug. This is actually a very historic photo. This is technically the first pre-announced public flight in America. The Wright brothers had already flown. This is 1908. 1903, the Wright brothers flew in Kitty Hawk. So the AEA came along, they started flying. Glenn Curtis flew the June bug, set a new record for distance, and it was the first pre-announced public flight in America. The first airplane that was used for the first official U.S. airplane. Curtis Jennings, Amelia Earhart, Charles Lindbergh, when they were learning to fly, they used the Curtis Jennings. But it's a very important airplane in the history of the U.S. That airplane, if you hold it upside down, turn it upside down, that picture of the upside down Jenny is on a stamp. They printed these stamps to honor the U.S. airmen. Different ones sell for different amounts, but if you have a Curtis Jenny, it's worth at least $100,000, if not $1.5 million. pictures of Glenn Curtis. He has a scar, it's 1909 or later. If he does not have a scar, it would have been before then. He received the scar when he was up in Canada, hanging out with Alexander Graham Bell, and he and some other guys were on a boat on the ice with a propeller on the back. They were speeding along on the ice, and they hit a dock. Glenn fell forward, hit his lip, received an injury. That was a pretty bad injury. They had to get a doctor from the neighboring town. It took a while because the doctor had to use a sailboat to get across the ice, attach his lip. So we blame Alexander Graham Bell for all of that.
There's also a gift shop with all sorts of cute, cool items. The B-24 Liberator. Look at this Pan Am bag. Oh, I think I might have to buy this. Pan Am's First Lady, The Diary of Betty Stettinius Tripp. I'm now in an area that's used now as a sort of bridal suite, so I'm allowed to chill in here for a little bit, and I just want to show you guys something I purchased from the gift shop. Dun, 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 dun. This cool Pan Am bag. And, where are they? I did purchase Eastern Airlines playing cards, and they're wrapped in plastic inside, so I'm not gonna take them out of the plastic. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank our docent, Sam, for giving an excellent tour, and to Melinda, the executive director here, for being so kind and generous with your time. Both of them chatted with me after the tour and were extremely gracious. They both obviously love this place and love South Florida and sharing its history with others. So thank you both so much for sharing your time and stories with me and all of the other guests who come here to tour the Curtis Mansion. Thank you guys so much. And with that, thank you all for watching and joining me on another tour of a South Florida hidden gem. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour and the scavenger hunt, and I hope to see you next week for another adventure. And until then, stay enthused.